Okay, hi guys, welcome back to Audio Levels channel, welcome back to another review. Today we're taking a look at the Thieaudio Wraith. If you're new at the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. For those of you that don't know, if you're subscribed to the channel, you can leave a comment down below asking, tell me what sort of music you listen to, what sort of headphones you're looking for, what's your budget, and I'll go ahead and I'll get back to you. So feel free to comment about these headphones, but also feel free, if you're subscribed, to ask for recommendations and I reply to most comments. Now, a quick update on the channel. Uploads have been kind of patchy over the past few months because I'm still dealing with the health issues from this motorcycle crash. You'll hear me talking a little bit different just now because as one of the final stages of the reconstruction of my teeth, I have Invisalign in now. So if I'm saying words a little bit different, that is why. So now, Thieaudio Wraith. When I saw this headphone get introduced, I was excited. Thieaudio are one of these companies that tunes earphones, their IEM'S. They tune them so good. They have some of the best tuners in the business, which makes me think, like, why do we need influencers tuning our headphone products and stuff when you have brands like that? It's all very good, but don't forget that the actual brands themselves know what they're doing. The Thieaudio engineers have shown time and time again with the Oracle, Excalibur, Monarch, that they can tune some earphones. Now, the Phantom 3s weren't such a big hit for me, but I knew if they put a little bit more effort in and got it right, they could do something very special. I was piqued in interest when they said that this was going to be a reference earphone, and it has some elements of that, but that's not all what it is. I think that would maybe limit its appeal a little bit because I think it does have a very good consumer sound to it as well because it's got an added low-end weight. Anyway, it's a planar magnetic headphone. For those of you who don't know, planar is a different type of driver technology where the diaphragm is suspended between magnets. It produces a very detailed sound in general with this technology. The Thieaudio Wraith uses a 97mm as opposed to the older, I think it was 103 on the Phantom 3. So they've got an all-new driver. Don't expect it to sound anything like that. But the first thing that you get when you open the box, fairly standard unboxing experience, and let's go through the cable quickly actually. The cable, upgrade this cable. I'm not a fan. Look, it kinks here, it kinks here, it kinks here. And whatever position you sort of leave it in, it kind of kinks. And the headphones feel so premium that I think it's worthwhile upgrading the actual cable. I do like that out of the box you're getting a balanced connector and you're getting the 2.5mm dual entry. So it does come down both sides of your ears, and I tend to prefer that because it hangs better for me. If I get the box a little bit more out the way, we'll bring the headphones in themselves. All metal body construction. The construction on this is beautiful, and they're not too heavy, mainly because you have this wide genuine leather suspension headband where it's actually suspended on top of your head there. Now, it's not suspended with elastic like you find on some other headphones, but I find that this shape sort of conforms to your head pretty well. And the only downside to this sort of design for me is that it looks a little bit goofy. They're not the headphones you're going to be using outside your office or outside your house, but still, it looks a little bit. There was an old meme picture of the square band headbands of audiophiles of older days, and that sort of meme-like with that square style headband. But the premium construction, this leather on top, the Wraith embossed on metal headband with a beautiful clicky pop to the suspension system. It just looks and feels absolutely fantastic. The swivels are absolutely silent. Just something that I've often complained about in the past is the rattly nature of some of the Chinese headphones. These just beautiful, silent, and also robust enough to hold conformity, whatever position you put it in. It does fold flat, so you can place it on the ground. I think that's a rather handsome looking grille design on the outside. It looks very cool. I like that the headphone jacks are angled forward so that it sits over the top of your chest and not hanging straight down onto your shoulders. The ear pads are perforated They are super comfortable, nice sort of memory foam cushioning on it, plenty of room inside for my large ears, and I just think it's a wonderful, wonderful design. Now let me grab something else that Thieaudio said. Now, this is called the custom ear pads for the Wraith. They do have this non-perforated design. This one actually enhances the bass a little bit. I don't know if it's because the memory foam's a little bit harder, but I just found that the bass was a little bit harder. And then you have this sort of velour finish as well, so that will help in particular if you suffer from heat build-up or sweaty ears, or you're listening in a hot environment. But I think that's fantastic that they offer those options straight away without having to wait for an aftermarket. Now, how does it sound? Pretty reference for the most part. It's a really, really good sounding headphone. It is very transparent, very open sounding, very airy. It's not got the biggest soundstage. I think it has more depth than it does actual width in the soundstage. But the presentation of the details with the imaging is fantastic. The imaging on this, you can easily isolate individual elements of the song, whether it's a guitar playing or drums in the background. I was listening to Polyphia, what was the new song? Ego Death. If you've not listened to Ego Death by Polyphia, go and listen to that song. And especially if you've got a set of these headphones, go and listen to it. The separation lets you isolate the bass, lets you isolate Tim Henson's playing, lets you isolate the drummer beautifully. And then when Stevie Vai comes in, these things absolutely sing. It is such a good experience with that. And the thing that I think makes it so good is that it has a sort of reference style tuning, but an added low end dump on it. I was kind of worried that they were going to make it full reference, very flat, very bland sounding. And I don't think that's the type of people that are buying Thieaudio earphones. I think people are buying it to listen and enjoy their music as opposed to monitor their music or do critical listening. I think you want the most out of the enjoyment. And in this, there's a sort of liquidity and a little bit of extra thickness across the mid-range, ever so slight, that just makes it easier to live with. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more extension into the treble, a little bit more sharpness, brightness. But for what it is, the impact of the bass, while not overly grand bass head earphones, the punch is really, really good on the low end. But even the mid bass has really detailed texture, which brings to life deeper sounding bass weighted strings, for example, in the double bass, if you're listening to something like that. The smoothness, overall smoothness, absolutely fantastic on it. It does a good thing of balancing that reference type tuning with a smoothness. I know that sort of oxymoronic or whatever, it's a contrast of terms, but you can have that accuracy and that appeal of transparency where you're not getting too much embellishment, but it's not forced down your throat in a sort of bright and aggressive manner, like where the mids are forced upwards upon you. I think that really helps to have that more weighted low end on it. Overall, this is a listener's headphone. This is somebody, I'm not going to say for electronic and stuff, but if you listen to classical, rock, acoustic, that sort of stuff, this headphone absolutely rocks. If we're going to talk about price point, there's other options in there. There's options from Hi-Fi Man, Civga, and so on. So it doesn't stand out in terms of sound outside that sort of $500, $600 range. There's other options to be had where it's just a tuning preference. Don't think that you're buying one of these $500 headphones that sounds like $1,000 headphones. There's a lot of options to be had, but where I think that this really pulls itself ahead is in the build quality. I'm just really impressed. These are a lovely headphone to live with. Very similar to my Simgot headphones. Is it Simgot? Not Simgot. Timsock. The Timsock Planars I have, but those things are like $2,000, and honestly there's not much in the build quality between them. These are fantastic, and they feel a little bit more premium than the similarly priced Hi-Fi Mans, although maybe a little bit more weight. But that's it for this review, guys. As always, please go ahead and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Missed you guys, and I'm back with tons of reviews before Christmas. Peace.